Hello and welcome to TCM. I'm Ben Mankiewicz. If you're any kind of animation fan, you undoubtedly know the name Chuck Jones. Between 1938 and 1963, working at Warner Brothers, Jones directed a selection of the funniest, most surreal, best-known cartoons in history, including What's Opera Doc, Duck Dodgers in the 24th and a Half Century, and One Froggy Evening. Jones turned out dozens of cartoons highlighting eternal comic battles between Bugs Bunny and Elmer Fudd, between the Roadrunner and Wile E. Coyote, between Pepe Le Pew and various terrified female cats. However, despite his success, Jones was never able to direct a feature until the movie we're about to see. Released by MGM in 1969, it's The Phantom Tollbooth. Based on the truly fabulous children's book by Norton Juster, The Phantom Tollbooth begins when Milo, a bored boy who can never decide what to do, receives a mysterious toy toll booth that leads to a parallel world. Milo hops into his toy car, goes through the toll booth, and finds himself transported to the Kingdom of Wisdom, where his job is to rescue Reason and Rhyme, two princesses trapped in an airborne castle, and help stop a battle between words and numbers. At this point in Chuck Jones's career, he'd been at MGM for several years. He'd produced a short, The Dot and the Line, that won him an Oscar in 1965. He followed that with the classic animated version of How the Grinch Stole Christmas in 1966, and that led to The Phantom Tollbooth. The only live-action performer in The Phantom Tollbooth is Butch Patrick. You might remember him as Eddie Munster from the 1960s TV series The Munsters. He was the werewolf kid with the sharpest widow's peak in screen history. You'll also hear quite a few familiar cartoon voices in the movie, including Mel Blanc, June Foray, and Hans Conried. From 1969, here's The Phantom Tollbooth. By the time The Phantom Tollbooth was released, MGM, like many other Hollywood studios, had closed its animation unit. But that didn't stop Chuck Jones. He created more Bugs Bunny and Daffy Duck cartoons for movies and for television, and he did animated sequences for Gremlins 2, The New Batch, and Mrs. Doubtfire. The star of Mrs. Doubtfire, the late Robin Williams, was a big Chuck Jones fan. And in 1996, when Jones received an honorary Oscar, Williams presented it to him, calling Jones the Orson Welles of cartoons. Coming up, a trio of movies starring Jane Wyman. First, a hard-hitting, Oscar-winning film about alcoholism from director Billy Wilder.